Hey, it's Dylan, the Grumpy Stew, the world's grumpiest flight attendant. And you're listening to the Grumpy Stew Podcast, a comedy podcast for flight attendants, and this is episode 49. Listen, I don't want to get into the whole physics of how a convection oven works, but it seems to me that the food will actually get hot if you close the fucking door. I'm just saying. I had this fucking ninny opening the door and just leaving it open while I was trying to cook the fucking food. Close the door. Anyway, however you get your podcast, make sure you like and subscribe and share it. Hint, hint, this one, hello, and put it on the Twitters and on the Facebooks and on the Instagrams and all that fucking shit. Anyway, hang in there. We've got a little show coming up for you with all the usual rants, raves, crass humor, and aviation news commentary coming up. But first, got to pay the bills with a message from our sponsor. Do you ever wish you could just stop giving a fuck? If you could just pop a pill and say, fuck it. Well, now you can. With Fuck It All. Fuck It All is the only clinically proven medication to help you stop giving a fuck. Fuck It All is a no fucks given medication that eliminates the annoying urge to care about shit. Worried about your job? Fuck it all. Worried about your spouse? Fuck it all. Worried about your dumbass kids? Fuck it all. Fuck It All is not right for everyone. Side effects may include the uncontrollable urge to give the finger, lack of empathy, excessive sighing, excessive eye rolling, tendency to ignore social cues or etiquette, decreased sense of shame or embarrassment, diminished sense of responsibility, decreased motivation, tendency to disregard social norms, increased use of sarcasm, potential job loss, and anal leakage. So what are you waiting for? Talk to your doctor today to see if Fuck It All is right for you. Or don't. We don't really give a fuck. All right. Well, hey, I know it's been a while. I know it's been a while, but hear me out. I started working on this months ago. And then life kind of happened. My poor little niece, she ended up in a hospital. It was kind of touch and go there for a moment, so that kind of put a pause on things. She's fine now, don't worry, she's all good. And then I kind of got busy. It's been pretty busy for me. I mean, just besides the flying, because, flying picks up around May. But I'm a one-man operation here at the Grumpy Stew Podcast. It's just me. I do whatever writing has to be done, I'm the writer. Whatever producing has to be done, I'm the producer. All the memes, that's me. And there's kind of a bit going on. So besides this Grumpy Stew stuff that I do, I also do voiceover on the side, which many of you already know. And that's kind of been a major preoccupation for a while. And I redesigned my website, my voiceover website. And then I thought, hey, you know what? I'll redesign the Grumpy Stew website too. Why don't I work on that? And it looks like shit. I'm really not happy with the grumpystew.com, the redesign of it. So I'm going to have to do that all over again at some point. The social media aspect of the Grumpy Stew has really became bigger than I ever anticipated. The Instagram portion of the Grumpy Stew is approaching 4,000 followers, which I never anticipated. I know that's nothing, basically, in terms of Instagram and their matrix. There are, Instagram pages out there with hundreds of thousands of followers, millions of followers. I'm not that. 4,000 for me just seems like a kind of a lot. And then the Facebook portion of the Grumpy Stew is, I think it's approaching about 900 followers on the Grumpy Stew Facebook, which is kind of crazy to me too. I mean, those, again, not big numbers by any stretch, but I'm nobody. The Grumpy Stew shit is just something I did on a lark. It's nothing, but it's kind of starting to grow and becoming something else. So, a new thing here is in terms of the podcast itself, the ones of you that actually listen to this fucking thing, it is now available on Apple Podcasts. That's new. It's still available on the Spotify. It's still available on the grumpystew.com and probably just about anywhere else you can find podcasts. It's called the Google. You've heard of it. Type in the Grumpy Stew Podcast. It might spit out some results there. Just thinking out loud on that one. What else is new? Started a merch store for the Grumpy Stew. and you'll find a link down below. Check out the merch store. It's hosted on Etsy. It's mostly coffee cups and travel mugs at this point. And in the future, I'll be bringing in some like stickers and t-shirts and things. That's all in the works, but check back frequently because I'm constantly updating the product because I have to do it all myself. And that's the thing. That's kind of where I'm going back to. This is why I'm so fucking busy and why it takes so fucking long to crank out an episode, because I do all this by myself. I don't have the budget to hire a producer. I don't have the budget to hire writers. I don't have the budget to do like the audience research and the demographics and all that shit, which sounds really fucking expensive, to figure out who the audience is and what they want to hear. I don't have that kind of money. And quite frankly, I don't know if I care that much. But, okay, so let's just take the Grumpy Stew merch store on Etsy, for example. You look at that, you like some stuff, just put a little heart on it so I know what you like. If there's something that you're not seeing that you want, tell me about it. And in terms of the Grumpy Stew podcast, the actual audio, leave a comment. If there's something that you want to talk about, if you want me to talk about, well, leave it in a comment so I know what you want to hear. I have no fucking clue. I have no fucking clue what you people want, except for memes. I know you like the memes. I'll keep the memes coming. Besides that, I'm kind of fishing around in the dark, and I'm hoping you find this content funny and respond to it, and it entertains you and uplifts your day. But if there's other stuff you'd rather hear, I'd like to know. Maybe I can talk about that. Okay, enough of this shit. I've been thinking about something, and this has bothered me for years, and I've probably talked about it before, but it's the professional mommies and daddies that coddle and hover over their little stupid fucking kid. One of the funny things is they're all named Aiden. For some reason, every single one of these kids is named Aiden, and because all of them are named Aiden, Mommy has to mangle the spelling some way so that she can find her kid in the list of other kids that are also named Aiden. Hi, I'm Aiden, but my mommy spells it with a J. But it's Aiden somehow, I don't know. It's absurd. It's absurd. 50 years from now, every goddamn retirement home in this country is going to be packed full of little fucking Aidens. And if it's not bad enough, they all have the same stupid name. They're all allergic to everything. And I'm kind of calling bullshit on it. There is just no way there are so many fucking people that are allergic to everything. It's like these little professional mommies just like having a broken kid. They want a broken kid. They get validation from having a broken kid. So they make up these stupid fucking allergies. This is Aiden, and he's allergic to everything but air and water. What can he have? How about a big, tall cup of fucking nothing? How about that, Aiden? Okay, but is the water gluten-free? I need gluten-free. Is it vegan? I need vegan. It needs to be non-soy, non-GMO, and locally sourced. I mean, it's just so fucking stupid. It really is. And then they got this stupid fucking kid that they coddle over every little thing. And the kid just sits here and screams for absolutely no reason. The entire fucking flight. Screaming his little head off. And mommy and daddy, it's like they don't even notice it. What's this screaming child here? Oh, is that mine? I don't know. It's not mine, and I don't want to listen to it, and neither does anybody else. These are the same dipshits that allow their kids to play video games and watch movies on their iPads with no earphones. Like we all want to hear that. Like we want to hear fucking Baby Shark for 4 hours on end. We don't. No one does. Just because that's normal in your house doesn't mean it's normal within the plane environment. Use some fucking earphones. It's common fucking sense. Sometimes I feel like all of us are just screaming into the void because we all know this shit. We know this shit. We're grumpy stews. We deal with this every goddamn day, and many of us commute. And so we hear this all goddamn day when we're flying to work or flying home. That's the last goddamn thing I want to hear when I'm flying home after working 14 fucking hours is some I don't want to hear that. No one does. Use some fucking earphones. You would think this is just common freaking sense. Those of you with kids, I will never have kids. Never have kids. If I end up with a kid somehow, trust me, it's a freak fucking accident that cannot be medically explained. I will never have kids. Your life sucks. Those of you with kids, your life fucking sucks. I'm telling you right now, your life sucks. My life's great. I come home, the house is clean. It doesn't smell like shit. There isn't crayon all over the walls. There isn't someone screaming at the top of their goddamn lungs 24 fucking hours a day. I don't deal with that. You do. That's your choice. I'm saying it sucks. It's a bad choice, but my life is great. I come home to peace and quiet, and it's clean. I'm so sorry that you don't have that option. But those of you with the little crumb snatchers and the crotch goblins, and you pack the kid into the back seat and you put them in their little, immobilization device, whatever the fuck that thing is back there that you have them all tied up in. You got them all tied up in the back seat, and you hand them the iPad, and they're watching their shows, or they're playing their games. Now, do you let them just do that at full fucking volume with no regard to what you want to hear, whether or not you want to hear that shit or not? Or do you put some headphones on their goddamn heads? So just, extrapolating the experience of listening to that shit in the car for a period of time, why wouldn't you put headphones on the goddamn kid's head in a plane where there are other people that may not necessarily want to hear that? It boggles the mind. Why wouldn't you either mute the damn device or just put some headphones on their heads? Why wouldn't you do it? I get it. Your life is chaos and you've just kind of gotten used to it. And so you don't mind listening to 24 fucking hours a day. But I do mind. The other people around you also mind. They don't want to listen to that shit. They want to watch their movie. They want to drink their cocktail. They want to take a nap. They don't want to listen to that. I guarantee to you. Nobody wants to listen to that. Even if you're being honest, you don't want to listen to it either. If we're being honest here, and let's face it, parents are the biggest goddamn liars on the planet. All of them, to a T. All of them claim to have the greatest kid ever. All of them. He's just so perfect. He's just a little angel. Well, I have great kids. Those kids over there suck, but my kids are fantastic. Okay, this is just math, but they all can't be great. It's just statistically impossible. Not all kids can be great and fabulous and fantastic and perfect and little fucking prodigies and little artists and little, he's just a little engineer. He is not. He's a fucking moron. But you're too goddamn blind to see it, or you're just dishonest. I just think it's strange. I just find it strange that all these kids are perfect and they're highly intelligent and they're just little angels and they never say or do anything that's rude or inconsiderate or mean, but they somehow grow up and become they're either just totally mediocre as an adult or they're assholes of the highest magnitude. And if you pay attention at all to social media, it seems like a lot of people in this country can neither read, spell, or write coherently, which I think is kind of fucking problematic. But no, you coddled him. You coddled him and told him he's perfectly intelligent and fine and these other people can learn how to read and he doesn't have to bother. Is that what's going on? This is like a 15-minute rant at this point. Your kids are fucked up. I hate to tell you, but your kids are kind of fucked up. Or you're just dishonest, or you're delusional, and you don't want to admit to yourself that your kid is probably an asshole. You raised an asshole. Probably because you're an asshole yourself and either you're unaware of it or you don't care, but you raised a little fucking asshole and you didn't recognize it, or you deluded yourself into thinking it's perfectly normal to be a gaping fucking asshole, so you let it go when you could have just corrected the behavior early on in his development. But you know what? This coddling bullshit doesn't just produce assholes. It does. I mean, don't get me wrong. But like some of this shit just goes to the other extreme where they think, well, if I get some Mozart CDs and then put the headphones over the womb and blast the audio into the womb, it'll make my kid a prodigy and he'll just be so special. No, that didn't work either. If you're going to get anything, you're getting a little angry Austrian who just slides out of the birth canal. 9! That's what you're going to get. You're not going to get a prodigy because you played at some fucking music while it's still larval. It doesn't work like that. You people are so freaking feeble and delusional. Your kid sucks. Just admit it. And it might be early enough that you can actually do something about it. Don't wait till he's 15. By then, it's fucking baked in. Your kid sucks. Don't wait to fix it. All right. So, enough of that. I'm tired of talking about kids. Kids suck. Do you want kids? No, I don't want kids. Are you insane? I like having money and a clean house and shit that isn't broken. Anyway, enough of that shit. Fuck kids. If you haven't already, visit thegrumpystew.com where you can find everything Grumpy Stew. Wherever you listen to your podcast, if there's a heart it. If there's a thumbs up. If there's a subscribe feature, subscribe. And share it. Share it with your friends so that way they can become Grumpy Stews too, because you don't want them to be left out, do you? No, you want them to be fellow Grumpy Stews. You want them to be included in the club and all that good shit. Okay, so you'll like and subscribe to the Grumpy Stew podcast and tell all your friends. All right, so the other day, I made a grown man pout for 7 hours. I'm not kidding. Not kidding. Pouted for 7 hours. And he went around to every single person on that plane asking for my name, except, of course, he didn't come to me asking for my name. He went to every flight attendant on that plane asking for my name. And I was flying with one of my friends. She goes, "What'd you do?" Whatever do you mean? What could I have possibly done to this guy? Right? He's asking everybody for your name. What happened? He asked for apple juice. Okay, and I asked him what grade he's in. You're a grown fucking man asking for apple juice. What do you expect? A cookie? Need a back rub with that? How about a PB&J sandwich? Grow the fuck up. And he literally sat there for 7 hours pouting like a child. And he kind of proved my point, acting like a little boy over some apple juice. I'm just saying, don't be surprised if you get a snarky response when you ask for a child's drink when you're a fully grown human being that should be past the apple juice and milk stage. Am I wrong? I feel like I'm in the minority here. It's like the Canadians that ask for weird shit like strawberry juice, pineapple juice, guava juice. Where the fuck do you get guava juice in Canada? It must be super expensive there too. Oh, I have some tea with milk and guava juice and Canada Dry. Do you have Canada Dry? I'll have Canada Dry. Or even better, the French assholes that object to everything we have on board because it's not French enough. They're all, but on Air France. I'm sorry, what is that? But on Air France, they blah, blah, blah. But this isn't Air France. But on Air France. This is not Air France. What does it say on the napkin, ding dong? Does it say Air France? But on Air France. And they keep saying it like magically whatever they have on Air France is just going to appear in this plane. I don't have Fanta. I'm sorry. We don't have Bordeaux today. I'm sorry. It's something else. We don't have real champagne. It's sparkling wine. I'm sorry. Maybe you should have booked a ticket on Air France because that's what you want. But no, you didn't do that. You booked your ticket on the cheaper American airline. And my beef with Europeans in general, they're really fussy when it comes to temperature. They don't like air conditioning. They don't like ice in their drink. They don't like anything comfortable. They just like, make it as hot as possible. I must sweat. They don't want to be comfortable. They like warm drinks. Okay, so my European friends out there, if you just happen to be listening to this, if you're on an American airline operated by an American crew going to the United States, don't be fucking surprised if there's ice in your drink. I'm just saying, you are probably going to eat out at least once while you are in the United States. Do not be surprised when the waiter puts ice in your drink because you didn't say no ice. You got to specify that. I know a lot of flight attendants waste a whole bunch of fucking time asking everybody if they want ice in their drink. I don't do that. You know why? Because I already have to ask them 3 times what they want. And then I have to ask them 3 more times if they want ice because they don't know what that means. And I'm not talking about the Europeans who speak perfect English anyway. I'm talking about the stupid, dumb shit Americans who don't understand a fucking thing coming out of your lips because they can't be bothered to remove the fucking earphones from their fucking ears. Yet you hand the drink over to the European guy, and now he's upset because there's ice in his drink because he didn't specify up front no ice. Just tell me up front that you want ice or no ice. I'm not going to ask you how you take your Coke. I'm going to assume you want ice in your Coke. Who drinks warm Coke? Besides serial killers and axe murderers, and probably the East Germans, but besides that, no one drinks warm Coke. Come on! I remember a few years ago, we started handing out food menus in main cabin on international flights. Worst idea ever, but of course they didn't consult me. I didn't get a text message, I didn't get an email, not a postcard, nothing. They didn't say, hey, what do you think about handing out a food menu to everybody in main cabin? And I would have said, no, that's a terrible idea. Why? Because you have to explain it to everybody. How many people do you suppose sit in economy on, say, a 767? There's probably 160 of them back there, maybe 180 people back there. So just divide that by 2. I mean, you're going to be on one side of the aisle, and the other flight attendant's going to be on the other side of the aisle, so you're dividing the cabin. So what do you think? You got like 90 people by yourself that you have to talk to, and you hand them the menu, and you say, what do you want for lunch? And they go, fish. I go, that's not on the menu. What do you want for lunch? Well, what do you have? It's on the menu I just handed you. Why don't you crack it open and have a look? Oh, well, I don't know. What's this? That spells chicken. That word is chicken. Do you know what a chicken is? It's a thing that goes cluck, cluck before it gets whacked and plucked and sent through a meat grinder, and then, it ends up on your plate. Do you want the chicken or do you want the pasta? Make a decision. Well, what's in it? Read the fucking menu. And they're holding it upside down the whole goddamn time. And you have this interaction with every single passenger. I can kind of give a pass to the people who don't speak English as a first language, but it's the Americans that are the worst. They can't read. They can't read. They are functionally illiterate. How the hell they have jobs? Good enough, by the way, to rub enough nickels together to get a fucking plane ticket to Europe. That's not cheap, especially now. And they can't read. So I'm not doing that shit. You want the chicken or do you want the pasta? What is it? It's chicken. You want it or not? Oh, I guess I'll have the chicken. Okay, for fuck's sake. I'm not going through the whole goddamn menu. I did that for a couple months, explaining the menu to these fucking people. They don't understand what you're saying. They don't understand. It's like, if you could visualize the words, you could literally see them going one ear out the other. It's just, they got the blank stare. They don't know. They don't know. It's scary. Another incident I had, it's been a few months removed. I haven't talked about this publicly at all, not on the Grumpy Stew socials of any kind, because police were involved. And it was kind of a big deal. And, I wanted to keep my mouth shut just in case it became a legal issue or whatever. But I will tell you guys, this is exclusive to the Grumpy Stew podcast. This is just for you. Okay, I hope you're ready for this one, because this one, I've been flying for 13 years. I've never had this shit happen before. This is fucking crazy. Okay, we're returning to JFK from Los Angeles. We've been in the air, 3 hours or so. I'm hanging out in the forward galley, and here comes one of the other flight attendants, and he has, plates for eyes. His eyes were just, super wide, and he was freaked out about something. And I'm like, what's going on? I thought there was, a big emergency or something. And he's like, listen, this girl came to us in the back, and now the other flight attendants are coming into the galley, and they're all looking freaked out. And he goes, this girl came into the galley in the back, and she told us that the man sitting next to her has been touching her leg, and he's been getting close to her crotch, and he's been rubbing on her, and she's super freaked out, and she's uncomfortable. I go, hang on, wait a minute. The dude sitting next to her, are they together? Are they flying together in any way? No. She doesn't know this guy. And he's an adult? Oh yeah, he's a grown man. And he's touching her leg, accidentally, he's restless, or it's suggestive or it's like intentionally. Bottom line, this girl was freaked out. So her instincts were probably to be trusted, right? So we decided to take her word for it. Why wouldn't you, right? This guy's been touching her leg from the very beginning, ever since they got on the plane. They are not together. He's a grown-ass man with a wedding ring on his left hand. Clean cut, looks like a business flyer. And the best part, he's a top-tier status flyer with my airline. Top tier. Top fucking tier. So he flies with us a lot. And he's sitting next to this girl that he doesn't know. And he decides he's going to touch her inappropriately. She gets freaked out. Finally gets up the courage to go tell my colleagues in the back what's happening. So they stick her in the back. They keep her away from this dude. It's just so fucked up. Here's the really fucked up part. She was only 17. That's somebody's daughter. She's a minor. And this fucking pervert was touching her. Like I said, I've been doing this a long time. I've never encountered this situation before. So we're like, okay, well, we can't just let this go. That's for sure. So I called up the captain and I said, hey, I need to come inside and talk to you in person. There's a situation. They'll let me in. And we have our little powwow on the flight deck. And he goes, okay, well, we can't just let this go. I was like, totally agree. He goes, all right, so I'm going to send a message to dispatch and our people on the ground. And then we have like a little app on our electronic device that we use on board that we can talk to the company with. And I said, I'll do the same thing. That way it's all documented in real time. Anyway, so it was decided that we'll have the Port Authority police meet the aircraft. And we were not going to confront the guy at all in the air. We're just going to get a good look at him so that way we can point him out to the cops if we need to. But we just left him alone. We kept the girl in the back away from everybody. We checked on her a lot, made sure she's okay. And I went through the whole guise of picking up trash on that side of the aisle a couple times just so I can get eyes on this dude so I knew what he looked like. And like I said, clean-cut guy, looked like he was on a business trip, married, had a wedding ring. He didn't look shady. He didn't look like a perv. It's not like he's wearing a trench coat with nothing underneath it. You know what I mean? There was nothing that would suggest that he was touching people, except his body language. His body language was all fucked up because this dude would not look up. He would not make eye contact. He would not look up at all. He was doing a 1,000-yard stare into that seat back in front of him because he knew. After a little while, when that girl didn't come back to her seat after pretending to go to the bathroom, he probably figured the gig was up. He probably figured something was up when she didn't come back, and now I'm walking up and down the aisle a couple times to look at him. So he probably figured something was up, and his body language just gave it away. And I will say this, we've got this team of people that we talk to via an app on our electronic device. It's issued by the company. And I would say probably 60-70% of the time when we needed assistance at the gate, it doesn't show up because they don't bother to tell them that we need the assistance. And they come up with excuses. Well, they're short-staffed. They don't know. They don't have the staffing. It's blah, blah, blah. They're busy. Okay. Well, they actually came through this time. They actually came through. We got to the gate, opened the door. There was like a gate agent supervisor, a gate agent. There's like 2 other managers and like 6 or 7 cops right there. 4 of them looked big and pissed off. And they're like, where is this guy? Well, he's an 18G. And he goes, tell everybody to sit down. Tell everyone to sit down. Once everybody's seated, we're going to go in and get this guy. You're the boss. I'm not going to get in your way, that's for sure. So we have everybody sit down. They walk back there to row 18. They grab the guy. They pull him out. And he didn't resist. He didn't make a fuss or anything. There was nothing spectacular in that regard. There was no entertainment for the TikTok. But, he came out, and we boarded the plane through the galley up front because it's a 767. And he's like, well, I don't know. He's, just got that look on his face. I don't know what's going on, what this could possibly be. I don't know. It could be because you're touching little girls, you fucking pervert. Couldn't be that. Couldn't possibly be that. I don't know. Just a hunch. I can't tell you how many times I've Googled that guy's name over the last few months, hoping there was something in the news about this pervert getting prosecuted or something. Have any of you ever dealt with this stuff before? I mean, what is the craziest thing that you've had to deal with on board? Leave me a comment or shoot me a message on the social medias or on the Facebook or whatever, but leave a comment. Tell me the craziest thing, or maybe the two craziest things you've had to deal with on board the aircraft, whether it's a pervert touching people or someone hopped up on Ambien doing something stupid in the plane, something. Leave a comment. Tell us your story. Maybe I'll read it on the next episode of the Grumpy Stew podcast. All right, well, that's going to do it for episode 49 of the Grumpy Stew podcast. Thanks for listening, and as always, make sure you check out everything Grumpy Stew at thegrumpystew.com. You can find me on all the socials. And now there's a new Etsy merch store, the Grumpy Stew merch store on Etsy. Check it out. If you like something, put a little heart next to it, or better yet, purchase it, and tell your friends. And as long as you're telling your friends about the Grumpy Stew podcast, share this with them. And the best thing you can do is go on thegrumpystew.com and purchase your own MP3 of the podcast. You can share it with anybody you want, and it's on your phone, so if the Wi-Fi goes out on the plane, you can still listen to something on your deadhead. All right, make sure you say your prayers for Jetway Jesus. He's our buddy. And until next time, I'll check you guys later.